We also explored some early animation tests to see what we could pull off with our characters, how we could differentiate them with distinctive flavors to really make them standout characters for Noble Team, as well as some early storytelling prototypes that Lee will talk about further.
Yeah, it was important that all our characters felt like really believable and instantly recognizable without being stereotypes. The more that we sort of infused these characters with a rich history, the more it influenced the dialogue that they would speak, and also that when you show up as Noble Six, it's far more believable when you sort of experience like being a Spartan on a sort of multi-sensory level. If you feel that their stories have been going on prior to your arrival. Yeah, if we look at some of the faces on these.
Would you say that your goal was to create a Delta Force type team?
A Delta Force type team. Yes, I believe that's what I like to say.
All right. Yeah, you might not know this, but back in the early days, we talked a lot about Magnificent Seven and the Seven Samurai. And yes, originally there were 7 Spartans. Originally. Little trivia for you guys. Rosenda and Tom. Yes, were 2 of the Spartans that didn't make the cut, unfortunately.
Rosenda was sassy.
They're in the sequel.
A sassy Spartan.
Tom was a cowboy.
So Lee, while all the visual explorations of the Spartans was going on, there's a lot more going on in terms of backstory and so on and so forth. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we knew early on that we wanted to take the helmets off these Spartans, something that we hadn't done before. And we did a lot of research into sort of like how these Spartans should look. We wanted to feel that they came from a sort of multicultural background. This included accents and not sort of necessarily specific accents, but to feel that they came from a colonized planet that may have been sort of a mix of nationalities. And really just enough history with scars. I mean, like Cat's arm. We barely touch on it within the game, but knowing that she has this injured arm that it may affect her personality, how she relates to others, and the more that we experience these characters relating to each other within the game, we kind of get more insight into what it's actually like to be a Spartan, to really sort of solidly ground ourselves with these characters. And throughout the game, we experience the drama unfolding as these characters are experiencing it.
So you might have heard us talking a lot about how Reach was going to be a different type of story in the Halo universe, and I think that's very true. I know, Lee, do you want to talk about some of the principles behind that made it a different story for us?
Yeah, it was definitely a much different tone. We really wanted to focus on this team and kind of, as I said, experience it as they're experiencing it. Sort of more like as if we embedded with this Spartan team. So that meant things like, as far as the shooting style, that we didn't have any meanwhile moments, things that you see in movies all the time, like when you see someone that might have Colonel Holland giving a briefing to the Spartan team, if you saw him prior to this and seeing some of his motivations, it would certainly tell you more about the story, but it's not something that the Spartan team is privy to. So that gave us the opportunity to know that we were working within these rules and use the Spartan reactions as our information throughout the game. We also utilized mocap for the first time, which is motion capture, where we put on tight Lycra suits and run around like idiots. And
That was you a lot too, right? If I remember correctly.
that was me a lot. Yes.
It's the most fit of us all as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can sometimes get up to 4 inches off the ground at any time. And so I was perfect for a Spartan. But what this did do very early on, it allowed us to really find these detail moments, little subtle movements that we do all the time. That's not necessarily easy to put in afterwards and sort of create a performance. And we can use this as a tool to sort of block out a scene very early on and sort of find timing and sort of really build a performance.
I'm glad to have your skill set, but you can leave that lone wolf stuff behind. This our new number 6? Affirmative. You picked a hell of a day to join up.
I think back in the early days, one of the things that was really interesting is we brought mocap in to support the gameplay animation team, and cinematics wasn't even sure how much you guys were going to use it at all. And then by the end of the project, I mean, it was a core part of your process.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we were a little gun shy as far as mocap was concerned because it's easy to go in there like without a plan, like just figure, yeah, if we run around enough, then we'll probably figure it out as we go along. But we went in there sort of really using it as a tool, sort of understanding exactly what we were going to shoot, which gave us the freedom of improvisation and that kind of thing, and like finding the performance. In a lot of our shots, we also captured the camera. So what we would find is we would have all the blocking, have all our characters interacting, and then play that back and shoot it as if the cameraman was really there. Things that we discovered with that was you may have a camera position and have one of the characters literally step in front of the camera. So in a real environment, the cameraman would simply move. That's a little detail that you just wouldn't put into blocking out animation. Like you wouldn't think to do that. So it really sort of created a sense of reality.
Do you guys want to talk a little bit about facial animation as well?
Yeah, early on when we started off, I was like, I sat down with the animation department and with Lee, and I said, listen, we got to really focus on bringing the character performances up a few more notches from what we've done in the past, because we did a pretty decent job in the past, but we really needed with Noble Team to bring these characters to life, to really make their facial animations work very well with the dialogue that they're speaking, and to really pull off a performance that was far more believable than anything we've done in the past. So we definitely explored new tech altogether that allowed us to pull this off, and capturing actors' facial expressions and mapping that directly onto the models.
Commander? Only the parts that weren't covered in black ink. If the question is how long until the station is back online, 2 weeks, earliest. This is plasma damage. Every major uplink component is fried. Which is why I'm splicing into the main overland bundle to get you a direct link with Colonel Holland.
You're trying to save your own ass.
And yours.
I think I'm the only person in this car who needs to be thinking about my ass. Thanks for saving me for like 3 minutes.
So that was there were two experiments we were doing there. First was just to see how the animation would work with the actor actually speaking, and then with the actor in that last part was what we call face-over, where the actor is listening and matching some other actress's speech, that was from ODST. And that's how we ended up doing it. So we cast with actors that we recorded, chose their best takes, put it together, and then did the face-over work here for the scenes that really needed good facial animation.
And it gave us a sense of subtlety, too, with the characters that it was very difficult to pull off with any kind of hand-animated approach. So this certainly was, as Lee mentioned, this is a basis for what we would put on our characters. We'd get this all in the engine, we'd get this functioning, and then we would go in and add the subtle tweaks to really polish things up to the level of quality that we felt was appropriate for the game.
Oh, okay. Well, so we wanted to bring all the Spartans to life, so upcoming next is a little video, and I decided to wear the same shirt that I had in the video so no one would be confused. So each one of the main characters, you'll see them in the recording booth, and a little music along with it.
I'd also just like to point out that Marty's the only one who has a video that features himself.
That was not on purpose. This is the Northwest Symphony.
This is a prequel. This is something that
talking over
happened
myself.
prior to Halo 1. It's a story with a lot of gravity and tragedy. It's an inevitable story of the bravery of the people who fought to allow what happened in Halo 1 to even happen.
At 3 kilometers north, turn right, heading 050.
This is a brand new cast of characters, brand new casting. It's pronounced Visegrad.
Visegrad, okay.
We wanted voices that had character in and of themselves, so we looked for actors that had different ethnic backgrounds that weren't easily placeable.
Remember that accident a couple years back? Colony ship en route to Cygnus, 700 dead.
That's Cat.
It's fun when you have new characters you can just start from scratch.
This is Noble 4 holding the guns. Noble 6 is on the way.
We just wanted to have something that each character could have their own identity, and it would come through their voice.
Didn't think anyone survived Pegasi, sir.
Mahol, you wish to know. Halot.
Hey, what I do best. What I do best. What I do best.
Colonel, this is Noble 1. There are no rebels. The Covenant are on Reach.
ONI has requested Team Noble's direct intervention to help secure Sword Base.
We're resetting the bar, and we're coming up with new characters and a new planet.
Noble 5 will escort the bomb. I need your Saber team to clear the way for boarding. 5, stay with the bomb.
You are here, Team Noble, to ensure the delivery of this vital data to a secure location.
Yeah, perfect. Less stressed, excellent. That was my direction, right?
In my brain.
See, I was telepathic.
For me, that is actually really exciting because I have a reason to say all new themes, all new motives, all new atmospheres, and that actually inspires me. That does get me up in the morning to come in and sit at the keyboard and say, okay, now what? Keep everything, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. Like I have to say that.
All right, that's it.
Well, with Brian, yeah.